All right, how you doing? We here with another Feature Friday, and our guest this week is Ben Delaney of Delaney Investors. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you for having me. How you doing?
All right, good. I'm gonna refer to you because you're a little quiet, soft-spoken one. I'm gonna refer to you as the Millionaire Next Door. And we're gonna talk a little bit about how you build a little empire going here. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Benjamin Delaney, born and raised in Washington, D.C. Smith alumni, graduated 2004, Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Information Systems.
Okay, all right. And so what exactly are you doing now? You have a regular 9-to-5, right? What are you doing with the government?
Regular 9-to-5. I'm a contract specialist with the Environmental Protection Agency, specializing in IT contracting.
Okay, and then what are you moonlighting? Not really moonlighting because you're doing some major projects. What are you doing, I would say, on the side in terms of building your wealth?
On the side, my wife and I are into real estate investing and real estate development.
Okay, nice. And I mean, it's different in contrast with the EPA. So how'd you get started?
For a while, it was always like an interest, but you always had tell yourself you want to do it, but you never followed through with it.
Uh-huh.
I remember talking to you one day and you was just like, you just got to do it. So,
you know how I roll.
and me and my wife, we just dived into it. We went about it, the hard money route. Actually, I was watching Capital Partners. I was just on Instagram one day.
Uh-huh.
And I came across a hard money lender and went from there, found a property and went from there.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me a little bit so back up a little bit in terms of, we're going to delve into how you find a property, because that's probably one of the biggest things that new investors want to talk about and try to figure out. How did you kind of educate yourself in terms of just kind of knowing? Did you read any kind of books? Were you looking at any blogs? How did you figure out some of the terminology and things of that sort?
First, it all happened by faith, really. Just talking to different people in the game. Mm-hmm. And we met one realtor who put us in contact with a developer that was doing real high-end projects.
Okay.
And he would tell us, he was like, I can show you better than I can teach you. So he would just have us come to his sites and we would see like properties that he was doing. And this probably was like over a 2 to 3 year span almost. And we watched him put properties together. We were like, we can do this.
Okay.
And it kind of just went from there. We didn't follow all his rules and hit some bumps in the road, but
we never do, man. You always got to make your mistakes and make your bumps. Would you pay it forward if somebody was interested and reached out to you and they wanted to learn from you, like possibly bring a deal to you and follow up behind you if you bought it? Would you do that for somebody else new to the game?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. That's where, so we got to make sure at the end you leave your information. So if anybody, the best way to do it to get in the game is to try to find a deal and then pass it off to an experienced investor like you, and then they can follow you and mirror you, right?
Right.
Absolutely. All right. So then now you talked about that deal. What's the best ways that how do you find deals? How you go about figuring that out?
When we first got into it, we found this deal through a hard money lender. Their wholesale page, to a wholesaler.
Okay. So break that down for us. For those of us who aren't experienced, what's a hard money lender? What's a wholesaler? I know you're flying at like 10,000 degrees. We got to bring it down so the folks get started on this.
A hard money lender will lend you money for the property at a higher interest rate than the bank would.
Why would they do that? Why would I want to pay for that type of lender?
Sometimes they don't go too far into your background or your personal history or your finances.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, so if it's just kind of based off the deal. Like they're not going to check and be like, oh, you got bad credit and all that stuff. It's kind of really just based off the deal and making money off the project.
That's what they're in for. It's high risk, high reward because
Nice, nice. So that helps a newbie like myself who's worried about all my credit scores and all that.
Correct.
Okay. All right, nice. And then what's a wholesaler?
A wholesaler is a person that has a contract on a property. There's someone that's looking to unload the property. They may purchase it and then want to sell you the contract. Of course, they're going to make a profit in between.
Okay.
So
But
that's the wholesaler that has.
but there's still meat on the bone for you to make your money on renovating.
Correct.
Okay. All right, got it, got it.
And there are a lot of different wholesale websites out here or wholesale opportunities.
Uh-huh.
Just have to find the right one that makes sense.
Okay. All right, nice, nice. And when you did your very first deal, how did you kind of structure it? What did it look like? I imagine you were nervous. I know, at least for me personally, when I did my first deal, I was nervous. So how did you structure yours and get into that first deal?
My wife and I, we had a budget in mind, and we had a draw schedule that we set up with the with Washington Capital Partners, which was the hard money.
Okay.
And we found a contractor.
Uh-huh.
And we just went from there as far as what we wanted to do to the property. Now, we didn't follow all the guidelines. We did everything completely wrong, but I'm glad we did.
Oh man, I lost. You said what?
We didn't follow the proper procedures, and I'm glad we didn't at that time because now we learned from those mistakes.
Okay. All right, good. I mean, there's never perfection. It's gonna be a lot in the game. And I think like that experienced investor told you, you learn better by doing, right?
Correct.
You learn more than in the textbooks, I guess I would say.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, because you're working full time and you're building this net worth on the side through your flipping, how do you manage both of those?
It could be a challenge, but I'm thankful that I have my wife, so we're a two-person team.
Okay.
So we can both piggyback off of each other.
Okay.
But on a regular, I'm more so the one going to the property,
okay,
checking out the day-to-day, and she's more so working the numbers and handling the paperwork behind the scenes. And we're both shooting emails back and forth all day between her side. She's mostly working with the bank and the hard money, and I'm more so working with the contractor back and forth.
Okay, nice. You got a little system in place. How do you and does that ever spill over into like at night in terms of y'all talking numbers at night? Do you have a cutoff? How do you manage that?
We try to have a cutoff, but towards the end, you kind of get more excited as the project is coming to an end, and it just it could take over you sometime. But it's fun if you like it.
Okay, all right, good. And what tips would you provide for somebody who's just getting into the game, wants to do their first project, or getting interested into real estate?
Vet your contractors. It's always important to find the right contractor that knows the ins and outs, knows how to acquire the permits. Sometimes contractors have architects, but you can also look for your own architect.
Okay.
Depending on the scale of the property that you want to do.
Okay.
Make sure you have funding, whether it's hard money, or you're going to go with a bank or personal funding. What I did also starting out, even though I had the hard money, I took from my TSP.
Yeah. And what's that?
It's kind of like your 401k, but in the federal government, it's a TSP.
Okay.
So I borrowed a little from the TSP just to have, just to build capital and to establish lines of credit.
Okay. All right. Nice. Nice. And at this point, if I recall, you've been able to weed off a hard money and you're using cheaper bank money now, right?
Correct.
All right. Nice. Nice.
How'd you pull that? Get away from hard money. And I'm sorry.
I said, how were you able to pull that off?
I was able to pull that off with your assistance. You steered my wife and I in the right direction towards industrial bank. And we've been working with them and have a good relationship with them.
And you did that by putting together a track record yourself. Hey, I put you in that position, but you built up a track record that was reputable, and it was much easier then for them to come over and start signing on and saying, okay, we're going to back you and support you, right?
Correct. The thing with the banks is they definitely want to see your portfolio and your work, which is different from a hard money lender.
And it's much easier. You cut your teeth on that hard money. You can make a deal out of any deal once you cut your teeth on learning how to learn that 12% interest rate.
That is true.
All right, man. So if anybody new wants to get in contact with you, wants to learn from you, wants to send deals your way, how would they get in contact with you, man?
You can send me an email at bd@DelaneyInvestorsLLC.com or social media page.
Okay.
Delaney Investors LLC.
So that's Delaney Investors LLC on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that, man.
And I've come to find out social media has, it's a whole network of people out there that's involved in real estate, whether it's from the realtors or just investors. So it's a lot of opportunity out there.
Well, I'm new to all of this, so I'm the old man in the room. I feel like the old man in the club coming on and doing all this new, but it is no better time than a pandemic to try to get information out to the people. I'm proud of you and what you and the missus are doing, man. Keep it up, and hopefully, folks at Smithites, if you have any questions, Millionaire Next Door right here. Don't wait till a couple years down the road. You see him blow up and quiet, pulling up the homecoming and balling out. You know, just learn from him right now what he's doing. All right. I appreciate you taking the time, man. All right. You be easy.
Thank you. Thank you so
much. All right.
much.
Take care.
Have a good one.